Hey family, what is up? Mic check, mic check. One, two, three. Can you hear us okay? Let us know in the chat below. Hopefully you can also see us okay. All right, let's see who we have on real quick. We have Kegler, Caesar, Melanie, Darren, John, Errol, John M. That is. And oh, Melanie has a couple questions. Cool, awesome. So does Kagler. I've personally never heard that type of training yet, but maybe Sifufu has. So we'll go into that in a moment. And oh, good. More questions popping up. Love it. All right, fam. Well, welcome to our Kung Fu Q&A. It is September 8th already. Can you believe it, fam? And we are going to obviously talk about Kung Fu, martial arts, health, fitness, wellness, and anything else within reason. Okay. All right. So feel free if you haven't already ask your questions, fam. If you do ever want to get your question to the top, or you just want to send some love because you appreciate what we do for y'all, you can always hit the super chat when you hit the little $ next to where you can type and everything like that. Thanks for anyone that donates. We really appreciate it, as well as a shout out to our YouTube premium members because you guys and gals help us to put these on as well. So thank you for that. All right. Let's see. Cedar is happy to be joining us one more time from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. Thank you so much. Darren's coming in from Western Australia. We also have John M coming in from South Jersey. And we also have Errol from the London, UK. Let's see here. Going down, going down. Melanie says, I don't do yoga often. Oh, okay, you guys talking back and forth. I thought you had a question for a moment about that. So Kagler has the first question of the night. He says, High Rocks training, question marks, HYROX. Are you familiar with that?
Never heard it.
I have never heard of it either. So I'm gonna look it up real quick, y'all. Let's see.
Maybe it's a spelling mistake?
I don't know. We're about to find out. Let's see. High Rocks Fitness. Whoa. Is a competition that combines 8 kilometers of running at 8 functional workout stations. It's an indoor hybrid fitness racing event that alternates running with functional exercises. Well, I mean, as long as they're doing exercises right, I don't see anything wrong with it. What about you?
Yep.
Sounds like kind of CrossFit here in America. So I don't know how similar it is, but I know the CrossFit people do kind of similar, little marathons and things like that, and have workout stations and things like that when they do the competition. So it kind of sounds like that to me. If you're familiar with the two, let me know if you know of any differences. I'd be interested to hearing that. But as always, if it's whether it's a different style or type of exercise, as long as you are doing the exercise right to get the maximum input and effectiveness, and you're not putting any strain and wear and tear on your body, it's a thumbs up over here. Okay. You can call me Torres had a question. Let me go back a little bit because I see some more questions popping up. I don't want to miss anyone. Let's go to Darren. Darren said, how is the Indian bong style different from the traditional Wing Chun? It's a great question.
Traditional Wing Chun, again, everybody will have their own little variations of how they do a bong style. A lot of times people do a bong style, they try to carry the bong over. And so it's designed to slide over towards the wrist area so they can grab it and create a strike. And that's one application. I'm not gonna say it's wrong. It is possible, but some bongs I've seen, again, everybody has a different version of the bong. Some bong really high, like they bring it really over so they can get over top of the arm. That is one application. Again, another application you can use. But to me, it's not the transition of the movement. It's how you start from the beginning. A lot of people bong from the shoulders, bring it up. So they'll do a bong style like this, and they do it from here. We don't do it from there. We do it from the wrist. Our bong comes from this. So they get the elbows to come up first, and it's always usually higher than the hand. The problem with that is when you get a heavy impact on someone punching really hard, it goes to your shoulders. It goes directly in your shoulders, and then you have to kind of compensate that by throwing the weight, trying to throw their force into it to stop it from coming back in the shoulder, which is, to me, not as effective because you're now relying on your size and strength. Well, we do it from the wrist. So our bong style comes from the wrist up, not from the elbow up and over. So that's one of the main things I've seen for people do bong. So they go like this, whereas we do it from here. So we don't have to go around, we don't have to go above, higher. We attack from below, we don't attack it from the side and above. That's one of the main differences that we do. But again, a bong style in terms of transition, you can do a bong style into a grab, you can do a bong style to roll over someone into a hit. Those are all transition. But the main thing for me is like that initial impact, because it's hard to transition over to a grab or to get over their arm if your shoulder's collapsing. And it's very bad to do. For us, like I generally will demonstrate where I can stand in a neutral, so I can throw the hardest punches, and I don't have to turn my body. I don't have to get a better angle. I don't do anything because I can connect and then work the energy. I don't have to try to get a better angle from the side to avoid the energy. I can just meet it and then control it. So that's the main thing that we do differently. She throws a straight punch. Some people will try to get around that. For us, we go right into it and see it naturally comes off. So we don't try to get around it. It's a lot longer, harder to move your body to the side than it is just to bring your arm straight up in front of them and let it just deflect through the turn of the wrist. Where they actually have to move their body, where I steer the hand. So it's different that way. So that's the main difference. And with we bong, we use the wrist to manipulate the contact and the control. Whereas other bongs, they try to get the angle because they're trying to get around the punch, whereas we control the punch. Bong styles, a lot of people, I've seen bong style people, they go like this. And it's really high and it's from the shoulder. It's bad. Because again, if you're someone half the size of an opponent, you're not going to win from that easily. You're going to feel that pressure build, or you have to commit a lot of energy to try to sustain that from collapsing. That's the main thing.
That was a great question, Darren. So thanks for asking that. Let's see. You can call me Tora said, what does hybrid martial arts mean?
Well, I guess I don't know who created the term, so I wouldn't know what they're trying to say from a hybrid martial art. But hybrid martial arts probably means you can take bits and pieces like today's MMA, Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do.
Right?
It's
Mixed
just
martial arts.
mixing. Hybrid means you're combining two different things. So you could be mixing anything. It could be wrestling and boxing. It could be judo and Wing Chun. Hybrid is just a combination of different things together. So it's probably a very loose in general terms. It's more the concept you're looking for than it is the actual style.
Yeah,
Conceptually, hybrid just means like you're mixing different things.
exactly.
It's just MMA, which is what Bruce Lee did with Jeet Kune Do. So
Which has been
it's just another term.
even
It's just
before.
just another term. That's all I say. Whoever created the term, you have to ask him what he was trying to say. What hybrid?
I'll give you guys a little history. Okay, I looked it up real quick. So hybrid martial arts, also known as hybrid fighting systems, or something electric martial arts, or freestyle martial arts, referred to as mixed martial arts or fighting systems. See, all same thing. Incorporate techniques and theories from several martial arts. See, very simple to understand. That's what we do here, right? We have multiple styles that we teach just inside of Inner Shaolin. So we technically do hybrid martial arts / mixed martial arts, just not the typical MMA per se combination that they use that's more mainstream. So yeah, nothing new. The history of hybridization or mixed martial arts supposedly originates from 5th century BC. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back a lot further than that. You know, as long as man's been alive, he's been mixing up things. Okay. So it's nothing new, nothing. If anyone's promoting it as something new, it's not, just a different way of saying mixed martial arts. Hopefully that helps you. And we do that here, and we highly recommend doing that as well. Let's see, Darren. Yep, okay, we got that one. Errol says, hi, Sifu. Hold up. The thing just jumped on me. I wish it would stop doing that. Like when I'm on something, it would just stay. So Errol said, hi, Sifu. I hope all is well with you.
Everything's good. I got a contract to sell my house, so I'm very happy about that. My prayers have been answered. I'm looking forward to being with my mom and just moving in there. You know, she's older and I want to be there for her. And I'm happy about that. And my patent, I'm waiting for my product to come in from my engineer to send it in. So we have like 3 investors waiting to look at it.
Oh,
so
nice.
That'll be good. Hopefully that'll be coming soon.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very cool. All good news. All right, let's see here. Let's move on down. Thank you, Melanie, for letting us know about our sound check. Appreciate that. Sandu says greetings, Sifu, CJ, and Sifu, Sifu as a Sifu Larry and family here. Good to see you, Sandu. I know we don't usually get to see you on these ones. Usually we only catch you on the other one. Are you working tonight? Are you catching us live, interactive from the job? Let me know. Let's see, Melanie, right? Mine was answered. Okay, you guys are talking back and forth. right, Ed, hi and all. Finally caught you coming in from Rhode Island. Good to see you, Ed. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. All right. Well, it's not quite his birthday yet, but happy birthday to you, Sifu.
Yeah,
You're a little
this
early.
Friday.
You're a little early.
13th.
But you, yes, mine is the 21st. So yeah, we'll be right now. Speaking of birthdays, right now we have our Labor Day sale going on, which you can get the lovely Abbott membership for $2,200 off. Or 2,000 off, depending if you do the payment plan versus not, but still that's an insane amount of savings. So if you haven't joined the lifetime membership to the trading hall, you might want to jump on that. We are gonna have a birthday sale, but a birthday sale is not gonna be quite that extreme. We're gonna do our founder prices. So you'll still be able to save a lot, but not that much. And that ends tomorrow night. So 9/9 at midnight Eastern Standard Time. You guys can go to entertainment.com/up level. Yes, up level to be able to get access to. I'll make sure to drop a link here in a moment after we get another question answered. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. We got lots of birthdays coming up. All right. Moving on. What about my question? Well, I didn't see your question. I'm gonna
She
scroll
asked
back up.
again. She asked it after. Just look.
Yeah, I was gonna say your question
It
wasn't
never popped up.
up there, so that's why I didn't answer it. That's simple. It didn't exist in my time frame. All right, let me see. I'm trying to find it.
No, he asked it later. I told him to type it, so he asked it.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I was trying to find that one. Well, hold on.
There is no one earlier. It never came up.
No, see if I know that. I was just trying to see if there's other questions as well before I jump down to the bottom. We covered that one. We covered that one. All right, so we got that one. Glad that you are doing well, Errol. That is awesome. All right, Darren, thank you. Just did the lesson and wanted to know the difference. So with free proof and risk control, NDN is superior. Always. Okay, always. um, that's just easy peasy. All right, so Shalom says how to do a palm strike to the face. You do palm strike to the face. It's that
Yeah.
simple.
Well, there's 4 ways you can strike palm strike, right? There's forward, okay, the side, the spade, and then there's reverse. Those are the 4 ways your palms can strike a person. If you're gonna strike someone in the face, one of the best way if you're doing direct is forward palm strike, heel of the palm, snap your wrist. Now there's 2 ways of approaching it: high, from high to low or low to high. So what I mean by that is my hands higher. I strike downward towards the nose, the cheek, chin, the jaw. So striking down the jaw this way opens the jaw, opens the mouth, nose, squishes it, brings the face in. You can strike upward. If you're going to strike upward, underneath the jaw or towards the nose, upward, like this, it knocks the head right back. Okay, and then you can go direct to. So those are the ways you can attack on a palm strike. So you can palm strike straight this way like this. If my hands are higher, like I'm intercepting a punch, you can snap down toward the nose, the cheek, the jawline. If my hands are coming from low, let's say I intercept the low punch, I go, yes, I want to come up. You can do palm strike. The key is when you do it, make sure that there's a snap in the wrist at the very last second. It adds an extra power. It's like hitting someone with a stick or hitting someone with a stick with a dynamite at the end of it. So as soon as you hit the explosion, it adds that extra acceleration. If you just do this, you can hit with whatever your arm can drive. You do this, snap the wrist. It's what your arm can drive with that another explosive power to it. So like throwing a javelin with your arm and throwing a javelin while running. Which one are you going to throw further? You obviously can throw further with that extra momentum with the running, right? So your wrist will add that extra power. You get that drive behind what you do like this, and then you get that snapping behind it just after that, and that'll generate more power for you.
All right, there you go. I hope that helps you. If you have any other questions, let us know. Shalom. All right, let's see. Kelly, saying, dude, yes, I am at work. Okay, I hope it's a good night at work and not too hectic. Let's see. Callie says, finally, I'm on time watching from California. Well, welcome, and let us know if you have any questions. Congratulations. Glad you made it. Let's see. Sandy, it says our training is an encyclopedia, exceptionally growing. I cannot speak tonight. I apologize, fam. And almost all of the principles is available there in advanced training to keep adding. Yeah, there's a good at least as of right now, a good solid 15 years of training, if not more. It really depends on where you are at your training, your understanding and comprehension level. But at a bare minimum right now, there's a good 15 years, probably more. If you talk to some of our students that train with us online, but also come here and train, they would tell you it's a lot more than that. But I like to give a conservative number. And again, if you haven't joined yet, that's entershaolin.com/up level. I'll drop the link here in a moment. Hagler says, I've just finished teaching strength and conditioning and I'm competing in Olympic competition. What is your take on supplements? They could be good and they could be bad, depends on what kind.
Yeah, it depends on what kinds of supplements. Some claim certain things and they're really a waste of money.
Yeah, a lot of
But what
fillers
you
and
do,
stuff.
right. So you have to do your own research and look at the results
Yeah.
yourself. That's the best answer I can give you. Whatever you're looking at, do the research, do the studies, and try it for yourself and see how that works.
If there's something specific, like you want me to look at, I could take a look at something and tell real quick if it's a bunch of BS or a bunch of fillers or not enough of things to actually do anything. Or you just email me at support@entershaolin.com and say, hey, CDJ, can you look at this and let me know? I'd love to help you on that because
I'll tell
did
you,
a lot of
if
research
you
on
take
those.
supplements, any supplement I take, it's always in powder form. I don't take pill form.
Yeah.
Powder form is the best because it absorbs in your bloodstream
Or
very
liquid if
quickly.
you can get
Yeah, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
any liquid fine.
Yeah.
Powder turns into liquid. I'm saying, don't take pill form. Pill form actually takes longer, and you actually are wasting most of your money.
Mhm.
Studies have shown that you're actually gonna just pee it out, basically. Most of it, yeah, 80% of it goes out to waste. So you're wasting your money that way. That's why they always, when you see the supplement, like 2000% of vitamin A. The reason why they have to give that to you is because your body can't absorb it all. It goes to the digestive system and it breaks it down in your intestines. Most of it is already passing through you. It only takes some of it. That's why they give you so much, because your body can't break that all down, and you pretty much, by the time it does, you're peeing it out. So your body can't absorb it right away. Powdered, liquid, whatever.
Yeah.
They're the best ones because go in your bloodstream in minutes.
Yeah.
So that's the best.
And it makes
answer I
you
can give you, yeah.
weird fillers. Like if there's
Yeah.
artificial colors, artificial flavors, weird stuff like that, stay away from that kind of stuff. And I don't know if you have the MTHFR mutation, but if so, you want to look for methylated vitamins, especially things like B12. And then you need like folate instead of folic acid because folic acid doesn't do good for you. So I don't know if you know anything about those things, but there's some general precursors. If you can get the things organic or as natural from the source possible, that's always recommended too. So there's some good guidelines for you. Hopefully that helps you out. Errol, let's see, hybrid martial arts. Martial arts is martial arts. Doesn't really matter what you call it as long as it works for you.
They're just words.
Yeah.
Actions speak louder than words. Let your technique show.
Right. Very true. Very true. Let's see. Shalom says, Sifu, so many good techniques. How do you choose? Depends on what you need in the moment, right?
I could say, like, how do you choose 2 numbers equal 10? Just pick. As long as equal 10 works, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Someone can pick 6 and 4, someone can put 7 and 3. The goal is someone's attack you and you do the technique and you took them down without injury for yourself, then it works. You could say, well, I should have done it this way. I could have done it faster. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you can make it work. Can you improve upon it? Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that what you did was not good at the time in that moment. You want to let your body move naturally. That's what the whole point of training is. It's like dancing to music. How do I know how to move? You move to the music. That's all it is. You feel the music, you move according to the music. You don't count steps, you don't think steps, you don't do that. You feel music. That's the whole point of dancing, to feel music. Music comes from in out. That's what the whole point of dancing is. It's not to come from out to in. It's supposed to come from in. Fighting is the same. It comes from in to out. So whatever you naturally do, so someone throws a punch at you, a straight punch, you're not going to pack it every time. You're not going to bomb it every time. It depends on the angle, your approach, readiness, the type of length of the person. So you might do this one time. You might do this one time. You might do this one. It just depends on your body approach and everything like that. So
Sorry,
it depends.
I didn't realize this.
So as long as I always tell my students, let's say 10 is perfection. As long as you do 10, you're fine. I don't care if it's 9, 1, 7, 3, 4 minus 2. It doesn't matter. If 10 is, let's say, the perfect number, then whatever number you pick 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. That's fine. As long as you make that 10, then it's fine. It doesn't matter whether I pack a ton. It doesn't matter how it starts, how I finish. It's more important. Okay, because it's like someone throws a punch, I can do this, or I can do this, I can do this, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, but how I follow through to make the strike work, that's what matters. So I do this and I try to go like this, then obviously you can say I'm wasting my time. But if I do this and this, I'm going straight direct in, and that's fine. Again, you can't pick 9 plus 2 plus 1 plus 7, they equal 10. They don't equal 10. So it won't work. You gotta, like I said, you gotta pick whatever's natural and you follow the principles. You don't, you know, like I said, you're not trying to get away, you're not trying to defend, you're not trying to get his hands out, you're trying to get your hands in, you use base, your mash, your acceleration, your focus, and all those principles that you use. That's what matters. The principles. It's not the way you go about it in terms of should I bong first, should I pack first. There's no sequential orders. You can pick it whatever you want. Like I said, you can put 7 plus 2 plus 1. You can pick 8 plus 1 plus 1 or 8 plus 2 plus 0. Like it's up to you. As long as you pretend you're fine. There's no one better way. There's no saying this guy dancing over that guy. They both feel music. They dance naturally. You can't say one's better than the other. They both are feeling the music. When it comes to terms of moving to the music, feeling the music, they both are doing it. They have their own expression. It's just like a fight. You say, oh, that guy looked prettier when he did it. Oh, that guy looked more dangerous than he did. Both knock the guy out. They're both effective. It's just a matter of your preference of what you want to do in terms of taste. It's up to you, but just let your body naturally move. Let your body and your training to do it. If you have to think of what you're doing, then you're not going to move naturally. You're trying to guess, anticipate, you know, stuff like that. You don't want to do that. You just want to let your body training naturally happen, which is funny. I just met a student of mine at Row. I went to get a pizza, and I hadn't seen her in like 7, 8 years, maybe 9 years. I've known her since she was 14. She's 24 now. Beautiful girl. And she was telling me like, oh, when she was in high school, she got picked on by these girls, and she stopped training for a few years. And she said it's so funny because it was so natural. And when that happened, my hands went up. I stopped hands, and I wound up hitting her. And I haven't trained in a long time. And she's like, I can't believe it. I said, because it came to muscle memory. She's like, I can't recall what I did in terms of the training that she had, but she said it just went natural, and that's the whole point. You're not supposed to think about what you do. You're supposed to just let your body naturally do it. So in any fight, just don't stop thinking. Bruce Lee said, when you engage in a fight, don't think about what you should or shouldn't do. Just engage and let nature take its course.
Love it. That's an awesome testimony right there. All right. Don't stop training just because it might still work a few years later. Stay training, y'all, because you're just going to get better and better over time. So Melanie said, I was taking multivitamins and I found out that I'm allergic to chromium, which is used in all vitamins. I was hurting myself instead of helping myself. Yeah. So that's actually, I found out like I was having a lot of issues with multivitamins. And then I found out I had the MTHFR mutation. So a couple things. One, most of the B12s are not methylated in most multivitamins. And I was getting like organic ones, all kinds of, you know, crazy, like expensive ones. And they still were not like, I just like, I don't feel like they're doing anything for me. And I'm like reading other people's reviews and I'm like, I feel like it's like actually doing the opposite of helping me. Another thing was vitamin C. I don't do good with citric acid. I do better with ascorbic acid. And then, like I said, folate. It needs to be folate, not folic acid, which is in a lot of multivitamins. So getting to know a little bit about your own chemistry and your body makeup and your DNA and all the things is very beneficial when trying to figure out your supplements too. So like you experience, Melanie, you don't find out that you're just hurting yourself instead of helping yourself. Darren says, don't forget to tap the like, guys. Yes, tap the like button. Make sure you guys share and hit subscribe if you haven't already, and tap the bell notification if you subscribe today. Thank you. All right, let's see what other questions we have. All right, looks like we're caught up right now. Do you have any lesson you can share with them?
I can. If nobody has any questions.
Oh, Don's coming in from Toronto. Do you have any questions, Don? Let us know.
Okay, I'm gonna do like I said, I'm gonna do simple, easy movements that'll help you do movements very quickly and effectively, and it doesn't require a lot of training. It does require some training, but these are things that are very easy for you to do. So we're gonna do our anti-gripping technique. So someone's grab your hands. Okay, it doesn't matter which hand she grabs. I'm gonna do this technique for you. When somebody does this, you can get out real fast. The goal is to attack the wrist. Okay, so one. Never pull backwards. If she's grabbing you really hard, you never want to pull backwards, she'll yank you. You actually want to go towards your palm. So no matter how somebody grabs you, you're going to go towards your palm and you make an arc. And when you make the arc, you don't try to bring your hands up. You actually want to drop your elbow. So don't let me do it. If I do this, I'm pulling against her arm. If I do this, it's easier. So okay, so these are the things I want you to remember. One, drive forward towards your palm. Don't drive towards the grip. Don't go backwards, okay? Common people always go after the grip. In other words, they go this and they go right into the grip. when they can engage that arm. So if you're practicing and you do this and they can engage it, that means you went toward their palm. You didn't go to yours, you went to theirs. Engage it if you can. Okay, watch, engage it. Okay, because I drove to my palm, and the one thing that'll help you to drive your palm is don't try to bring your hand to your elbow. That's a common mistake people do too. They'll go like this and they'll go backwards, and that's going towards their fingers and their palm. You don't want that. The best thing I could tell you is take a drive towards the palm and then drop the elbow below the palm. So bend your knees and drop, and then no, hold it. I'll go slow, but watch. Okay, so I'm not engaged by pushing into her arm. I'm actually twisting her wrist. So if you drop the elbow and just hold tight. If you drop the elbow, see, I didn't push into her arm, I turned her wrist. When people do this, they go this way, they're engaging their arm because they're feeding to their palm or their fingers. Okay, there's 3 points of gripping: thumb, palm, and fingers. You don't ever want to go to any one of them, especially when he's much bigger and strong. You will lose. Okay, I've seen martial arts defense systems that always go to the thumb's the weakest. But what happens if the guy's weakest point is stronger than his strongest point? What if a girl's like 80 pounds against 220 pounds? I guarantee you she's never going to break that thumb grip ever. He's going to just hold it and he'll never, ever let go. So you don't want to attack him along that. You actually want to attack him through the turning of the joint, because when you compromise the wrist, the person's strength goes away, no matter how big, no matter how strong. It's human anatomy. I think I've shown you this. Keep your elbow straight if you can. Okay, she can hold that elbow strong. No, hold the elbow strong. Hold the elbow strong. She can hold it. If I compromise the wrist control, see, it takes away her strength. So we want to neutralize a person's strength by controlling the wrist. So that's what I'm going to do. So I want to just point my fingers to the sky, drive my palm here, and then I want to bring my fingers upward by dropping my elbow below my hand. So I don't want to do this, pull the hand backwards. I want to keep it here and drop my elbow below and then just raise up with my legs. Okay. In reality, you don't need to go that big, but for practice sake, you can do that. Because in reality, you can do it very small. You can do it very, very small. I don't need to drop, but this is a visual way for you to see it, get it, and understand. So you want to drive to your palm, drop the elbow below the hand, and bend your knees to do so. Just drop and just straighten out your legs. And can you hold it real tight? Hold it real tight. And it becomes very, very difficult. And I'm not using my arm strength. I'm actually using my whole body. So that's even better for me. Now, once you get that understanding how you can turn them, now, if you feel they're engaging, if you're doing this and you got, see, and she's engaged, she locked the arm, that means I didn't turn the wrist. I pushed into her arm or get away from her arm. So what? I'm pulling this way or pushing into her arm. It's one of the two that she can engage back. When I do this, can you engage it? No. If I do this, see, you can see her engage. As soon as I feed toward the fingers or the palm, she'll engage. I don't want to go there. So I tell people, you ever played that game Operations when you were a kid? You know, like if you play the game and you touch the side, it goes, Well, her arms, with the pressure here, let's say it's 20. If I make it 21, I don't want to feed into the grip at all. I want to go straight to my palm. I don't want the energy to go anywhere along her grip. Okay, so if I do this, see, she engages, done. Okay, so once you get that, here's, now don't grip hard, okay, because this is going to break your wrist if you hold. So once you learn to do that, you're going to take this hand and you're going to put it right in between. So just go and do like that, and they'll break their wrist if they hold on. Their hands will break. Huh?
I said, don't hold on.
Yeah. I'll do it slow. You can hold on. Just I'll go very slow so it doesn't hurt your wrist. But when I do this, I want to put my hand right between that joint with my palm and arm. I'm just going to stand up and I'm just going to turn my body towards her wrist. And there's no way. I've done it with guys who are like really, really big, and they're just okay. There's a lot of advantage of doing that. One, you attack the wrist, not the arm. So how strong is someone's wrist versus your entire body? Now, if you attack the arm, they can negate your point. So that's why you never attack the arm. They can do it and they shut you down. It's over. When you turn and you attack just the wrist, no matter how strong she is, I make the wrist bend. See, and she has no choice. That saying, bent wrists don't make fists. I compromise the wrist. She can't make the grip. She can't hold on. Her arm, once her wrist is compromised, the arm strength goes away too. So this is to your advantage by doing that. So you want to drive towards your palm, set palm, and then drop your elbow below your hand. Don't try to move your hand. So my hand's here. I don't want to bring it up here. I don't want to bring it here. I don't want to. I want to bring it straight up. Okay. Now, like I said, you don't have to bend your knees like that. This is just for visual training, so you can get it. Eventually, you don't have to do it that big. So eventually, I can just do this. See, I don't even hold tight. I can just know how to do this very, very easy because I know how to drive that and base that. So the key is getting that elbow to push and support the wrist through, and then just bring it below. That'll help you. Because a lot of people do this, hold me tight. See, I didn't bring my elbow low. I tried to bring my hand to my elbow. Never do that. Always bring your elbow to your hand. Never bring your hand to the elbow. So be loose, okay?
Okay.
Don't do this. People will do this and they'll do a move like this. Don't ever bring hand to your elbow. They'll always engage and stop you. So don't let me do it. Don't let me do it. So they it's easy. Once you do that, you want to
Yeah.
tap that wrist, like I said, you want to slam right into the base of the arm. So you want to tap just by the palm side area, and you want to just turn your body right into it. That'll make the wrist bend. And can you hold on? I'll do it slowly. Hold on if you can. Just hold on.
No.
It's impossible. It's like trying to beat someone arm wrestling while arm wrestling like this. Like there's no way. There's no way she's gonna beat me like that. There's just I have too much leverage, and also I have the advantage of attacking her wrist versus arm. As she go higher, she engages more bicep, tricep, forearm, her extensor flexor muscles. As you go lower, you negate all that. It's all in the wrist, which is what I want you to do. So drive to your palm, base that below, but your knees to help you. Just raise your knees up and attack them from the palm side, hitting upward and then turning the body. You want to make a little circle. I'm going to exaggerate this, but see how it looks like I made a big circle? You don't jam straight into them. You never want to engage straight in a line. Remember, we never attack a line. We always attack in an arc. So make that arc like that. If you make that arc, it'll be a simple joke. If you go into flip bounce back, you did not arc them. You stuck them in a line, which they can flip back. A line is where a person can muscle. Arc, he has a counter torque. His strength will save him. Okay? So that's our way to do that. If you guys have any questions to ask, I'll be able to answer for you.
All right, so let's go back here a little bit. Let's see. Cindy said absorption of nutrition actually is safe and better because naturally you don't absorb everything in one's body to just metabolize it with time. And if something is allergic, it won't hurt you much. But eating naturally is not it. You must have knowledge. All kinds of nutrition and supplement knowledge is always helpful. The biggest issue, see, dude, why we even remotely should even look at supplements is because of the fact that in most cases, at least here, especially in the United States of America, our soil is crap in most places because of factory farming practices and chemicals and all the things going on. So a lot of times the things that we're eating, especially by the time they're picked and gotten to your dinner plate, you lose so much nutrition through the process. And if you look at stuff like even just a couple 100 years ago, or even in the past 100 years, and look at the nutrition of say like a tomato versus a tomato now, or apples and things like that, there's actually a big difference they've shown in these type of things. Then take it, like I said, from being picked to you actually sitting down and eating it. There's also loss of vitamin stuff. So the best thing to do, if you can, forage your foods. If you can garden and have some level control over your food and the quality, that is always the best. I'm personally not there yet. God willing, I will have a garden next year and be able to buy a property for Shaolin and be able to have a huge garden, which everyone is more than welcome to come and hang out and help with when that happens. But for now, I do foraging and stuff like that to help kind of supplement my diet. So yes, supplementation and just knowing what you're lacking, what your body needs and stuff is also beneficial. And just knowing about your DNA and stuff like that. Sometimes we have different things going on in our DNA that cause us to react differently to certain things that other people might be okay with, or we might need more of a certain vitamin or mineral than other people because of different mutations in our DNA. So yes, lots of stuff going on there. But yes, knowledge is always helpful. Don said the wrist is your source of chi. And then Sandy said, Don, I correct you. Our breath, blood, and abdomen, of course, lungs is the source of chi. Wrist focus control and convert it. What are your thoughts, Sifu?
He's right. Wrist is where we can channel energy, convert energy, and focus energy. That's the job of the wrist. But the wrist doesn't gain that power. Power comes from the ground originally. It goes through your body, through your shoulders, through the base, through the drive, that way. So it comes from our breath as well. But again, if I'm floating in space and I couldn't go forward, right? So that's why we need ground. We need the ground to perpetuate that energy to go forward. So it comes from the ground first. That's why if I was stood on banana peel and I came punch her and I threw my weight and I put my foot on banana peel slides, I wouldn't be able to get forward projection because I can't get it from the ground. It comes from the ground first. And then we cultivate it through our body, through our abdomen, through our shoulders, through our base, through our wrist. And our wrist can guide the energy. Like I said, it directs, controls, converts. It does that. Those are the job of wrist. So your wrist doesn't get or create energy. It's to get the energy, and then it's supposed to deliver that energy. So the wrist is the deliverer in the end.
Yeah.
Whether you use your elbow, your shoulders, it's through my wrist that helps focus that energy and delivers that energy out to where I want it to be. So all the time, in any situation, I will always get the energy to my wrist, and then I'll use my wrist to focus it, whether it's on the forearm, from the elbow, from the shoulder, from the hip. It doesn't matter. I send it to my wrist at all times. So I tell my students all the time, your arm's like an escalator. Any impact along your arm, it always gets it to the wrist no matter what, whether I bong pack food, I will intercept, let's say here, but my goal is to send the energy up into the wrist so then I can steer and control it. So I will not do this, and this is a common thing. People, she pushes into me, that's not going to my wrist, that's going to point. And that's not 3-proof, that's pushing against her force, which is why you'll always feel straining. I can do this, and she pushes hard. I draw it to my wrist, and I can turn her. So any energy that comes to my arm will not go into me. It will go up to my wrist. So however she does this, I will always drive it to the wrist. I always drive it, and then I can turn it, and then I can use it to strike. So your wrist is not the source of getting your energy. Your wrist is the source of controlling energy.
Good stuff. Let's see. Maybe back a little bit here. Kagler said athletic strength and technique.
Well, again, combat based on 3 things, right? Physicality, technique, and sensitivity. So athleticism, your body, your physicality. Technique is your technique. It's the manner in which you do something. Okay, and strength is part of your body, so it's part of that. But like I said, the last part you didn't put is the sensitivity, to be able to feel energy and control that. But athleticism, strength, that they kind of go together.
Some dude said wrist is like a bullet without proper protection, it won't hurt. And source and mechanism is your body. Don said if you destroy the wrist, you control their energy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, at least it comes from the hands, because they can still kick you.
They can still kick
So
you,
they can do that.
bite
But
you.
in terms of the hands, yes, it destroys the wrist. And honestly, if you have control of the wrist, you can manipulate your feet, their body, because if I turn their wrist, I can make their body turn where they can't kick. And again, that comes down to your ability to control. So if I had her like this and I told her to kick me and I turn her like this, there's no way she's gonna kick me. If she tries to punch me, bite me, she won't be able to, because I can manipulate that to take everything out. But again, you have to know how to control the wrist well to do that. But if a guy knows how to counter turn his wrist, he can still use his body. Even if you have his wrist, just because you hold someone's point doesn't mean you have to control over someone's point.
Good points. Let's see. Let me go here real quick. Let's see.
A has a question.
Oh, that's A. Okay, I was like, wait a second. That's just the A for a username really threw my A game off. Okay.
A, okay.
Hi guys. You did some good wrist grab release techniques. What if someone grabbed your hands or fingers? Wouldn't that be difficult to escape since that immobilizes your wrist?
No, it doesn't immobilize your wrist. They grab your fingers, she grabbed my fingers, right?
Okay.
So she goes for a lock. I can still manipulate my wrist. So I can still rotate my wrist. So she has my fingers and she goes for, like, let's say, a finger lock. Like this is a finger lock. She goes like this. She bends my finger. She can ultimately lock me down because I don't know what to do. But if she does this, I can channel it right back and go back into her. But because I have the ability to convert through my wrist. So as long as my wrist has the ability to be able to manipulate, I can take even on a finger lock and counter control it because I have the ability to manipulate through my wrist. If she isolates my wrist and my fingers, then she's got me. For example, if she grabs my fingers and then she puts a hand below my wrist here, holds that wrist control. So when I try to do this, she won't let me do that. I won't be able to do that. She took away my wrist control. That's why if she does it, I have to try to get her control off. I can't turn that point off. I have to break the point control, which is what you'll have to do. But if she just has this, where it's just like this, and she locks my finger, I can see I can drop my elbow, my base, and drive the energy up. Then I can rotate the energy back. Now it comes down to who's better at it. Okay. So just because someone has your fingers doesn't mean it's not. Here's the golden rule of locks, right? Do you guys know the golden rule of locks? Write it down. What's the golden rule of locks? Who's the first to write this?
We're about to find out. Wait, yeah. 6 more minutes, fam. 6 more. Anyone got this? Oh, I think you stomped them.
All right, I'm gonna count to 5. I'll say the golden rule of locking. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Nobody? 4, 5. Nobody? The golden rule of lock states if there's room to move, there's room to escape. So as long as I have the ability to move, I have the ability to escape it. And I'm not talking about if they grab my fingers, I can move my leg. I'm talking about the point in which you have the contact to lock. Okay. So if there's room to move, there's room to escape. That's why if she locked my fingers and my wrist and isolate and lock the fingers, I have no room to move from those points. I can't escape it. But if she locks my fingers out, but I have the ability to move, so I can rotate and turn the energy. If she grabs my fingers this way like this, and she tries to twist my wrist, she can get like that. But she does it again, I can rotate that back and she bring it towards her. And so you can so again, that's about your ability to control. Remember, wrist has the ability to do what? Converts energy, controls energy, focuses energy. So I can convert that energy through my wrist. If she isolated me and locked my fingers and my wrist out, she took away that wrist control. Yeah, it becomes very, very difficult to impossible, especially if they know how to lock well. But as long as you have the ability to move, you can get out. I'm not talking about the strikes. I know we can all say, well, you can strike them. Absolutely. We're talking about, I'm just answering the question. If they lock that point out, can you get out of it? Yes, you can, without the strike, of course. But you can strike, obviously. That's also an option. But I'm talking about if they grab my fingers, I'm not doomed because they can get me in a lock. They can get me in a lock because I don't know how to counter it. But there's a counter to it because my wrist is free. She isolated my fingers and my wrist where I can't turn my wrist to convert the energy, then yeah, she's got me. That's where I like to say earlier. Like I have to break the control so I can regain my wrist control.
Right, right. Let's see, let's go here. James says, so do you mind showing the sending to wrist and getting it through hands when doing G-Sao or any G-Sao advice? We've got a couple minutes.
Okay. Here's one of the best things I could tell you when you're doing Chi Sao. Make sure you have a solid base behind what you do. If your base is gone, your hands are gone. So when you're doing rolling and if you're going like this, see my elbow, like it's just dropping like this, that's no good. You have to, I want you to think of jamming. So every time you do it's like you're jamming to roll, you're jamming. I don't want you to purposely go out of your way to do that, but I want you to have that mindset that when I roll, there's an elbow right there. I roll, there's an elbow here. So there's always an elbow in my arms. If I just roll like this, she can push my arm down, I have no base. I won't be able to do it. She does it again, I have a base. It's always there. So your base is your foundation, and that's how you build from it. So once you have your base, you have to have your drive, you have to have your torque. So I can turn her energy through my wrist if I have a base. How can you have a third floor without a second floor, first floor, right? So you think of your base as your first floor, the drive coming up to your arms, your second floor, and wrist manipulation is your third floor. If you don't have the first floor steady, there's no way the second two can survive. So it's very important that when you're bonging, you have to bong and rotate, and like you want to think of hitting with your elbow through the torquing of the wrist. When I lay my wrist, I turn the wrist to put that base. I don't do this. Does it look like my bases exist? And I'm dying into my body. So you can't bong a roll like this where your arms look like they're going into your body. Someone punches you, you're gonna have to force your way back. If you just do this, and you're just very steady on this, where you look like you're just present and it's always alive, then you can build on that and get energy through it. So the most important thing when you're rolling, and not anything, even push hands, if you do an animal rolling, any sensitivity thing you do, having a solid base is the first and foremost, not the only, but it is first and foremost that you have to get in order to get the rest out. If your elbow fails you, how much you want to try and turn your wrist, how much you try to throw your arms, it's never gonna work easy. It's gonna be forced. It's gonna be, and you're gonna try to throw your arms. You're gonna try, and I've learned that way. I was taught like you gotta push your arm hard, and I would burn my shoulders out. And they always taught me how to just push against the pressure. Push. Well, what happens when you're 100 pounds? A guy 250 pounds. You're not gonna overcome that pressure. He's just too strong. You have to have the base so you can drive energy. The reason why you have to have a base is so you can have a drive. The reason why you have to have a drive is so you can have the torque. So if she's punching me, right? As long as in my base, I can put the energy up. So any pressure she puts at me goes here, and then my wrist turns, I can take her off. If she's punching me this way, if I have a wrist, I can turn her off. But if I don't have a base, I do like, there's no way I can win this, especially when she does it again. You can see my base. See how my elbows going up and the drive accompanying that, and then the hand too. You must have that. That's what we say 3 proof is 4 proof. You have to have your base first. Then you have to have your drive second. Then you have to get to your wrist third. You have to be able to control energy. The idea is to never let pressure build in your arm. Any pressure goes in your arm, what I said earlier this webinar, I said, your arm's like an escalator. Any pressure should always go to the You can ride it. It always goes to the wrist. So any pressure that you get in your arm, it should always go in your wrist. If you try to push against the pressure, you're not going to the wrist, you're going against the point. That's where muscling comes in. That's where strength becomes a factor. That's where his force can make the difference. So our goal is to take pressure, always drive to the hand, and then we turn the hand to redirect the energy, because the wrist does three things, right? It converts energy, controls energy, focuses the energy. So that's why the base has to come out first, the drive comes second, and then the torque comes first, or the third, I mean. So you want to make sure that when you're rolling, make sure you have a very solid base. And that base is not the lowest point, okay? And for everybody always thinks base, like, no, I can have a base this. This is a strong base, because a base is a point which you can drive from. So if you can't drive the energy from that elbow, then you have a bad base. It's what we call false base. So when people do this, that's wrong. So do you see a drive going up? You see the drive going down. But if I do this, see how it looks like I have a drive behind that? That's proper base. That's a true base. A false base is when people bring their elbows in low, but there's no drive up. A true base has to have a drive. A true drive has to have a torque. A true torque must always turn to point. This is what you have to keep in mind. So when I'm rolling, I have to have a base to create a drive. If I just do this, it won't work. If I punch you, you're going to feel that pressure build up into your shoulders. You won't be able to get it to your wrist and turn them. You'll always have to challenge the pressure as opposed to convert pressure.
All right. And I don't know if you can show this real quick, because technically we are already at 8 o'clock. Let's see. There was a question about, can you use Chun to break a finger grab?
Yes, Chun is the art of locking and anti-grappling. So yes, you can use Chun to counter or lock and back. And you saw me when she was trying to lock my fingers out. I can take her lock and lock into her thumb. Again, I know how to do that, so I can counter lock her. And that's what I did earlier. So yes, you can always use Chun to counter.
All right, family, we're gonna wrap it up, because we're gonna go head over to the members only webinar. If you're not a member to anti-grappling.com, guess what? It is a blessing today for you that there is a special offer still on the table where you can save an insane amount of money on the lifetime membership to the training hall. So go to anti-grappling.com/up-level. If you sign up tonight in the next few minutes, send me an email, support@anti-grappling.com. Let me know you signed up. Let me know your email address. I'll look you up and I'll send you that membership invite real quick to be able to access the Zoom training call. We do live critiques with our members. We answer all the questions and we leave no stone unturned. And we have lots of fun. So if you're not a member yet, go check that out. I already dropped the link twice in the chat. Feel free to go scroll up a little bit. You'll find it against anti-grappling.com/up-level. God bless, fam. And we'll see some of you in a couple of minutes. Bye, everyone.